So, morning guys, and welcome to XP11. So, this morning we are back in the ToLiss A321 again, and yeah, flying in easyJet colours this time. So, we fly from London Gatwick to Aberdeen. Flight time's about 1 hour 35, or block time's 1 hour 35 this morning. And yeah, as you can see, flying the all-new ToLiss A321. ToLiss 21 releases on February 28th, so less than a week to go now. It's on this Friday, and so bit in the beginnings, I have to say, this is a beta right now, so while very unlikely given this is a release candidate, there is always a possibility that something may go wrong, and in this case, not everything that this aircraft has will be in the for release. So, for example, the cockpit does not yet have the all-new Toto the Mac textures that will come in release candidate 2, which I'm not sure if I'll get or not. We'll see. But otherwise, this is an almost complete copy of the 321, and this was provided by Mac Designs, who I do need to say a massive thank you for. So, yeah, let's give this a go, shall we? So, as those who tuned into last night's stream, welcome Camo, how you doing? Camo, sorry, how you doing? Welcome back. Those tuned to last night's stream, we flew Wizz Air from London Luton to Krakow. Today we fly up north from Gatwick in easyJet. So we'll head to the cockpit and we'll get ready to set everything up. So first things first, batteries, and hopefully external power if that's connected. Double check the ToLiss screen. Yeah, just connects that. Perfect. Let's line the 3 IRSs. Let's get this aircraft set up. So this goes up. Initialization, get the basics done. So it's Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Aberdeen, which is Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. Line IRS, perfect. Alright, let's get these displays on. So PFD goes up, ND goes up, over to the right, co-pilots ND and PFD. Oops, there we go. And so IRS will take about 7 minutes to align, which is plenty of time for us. ECAM upper, ECAM lower, PFD 2, and radios 1, 2, and 3. Right, let's continue to set up. So we are flying easyJet, so it's uniform 2. Flight number is 883. That goes in. Crossing next, 23. With cruising altitude today of 340. That looks good. Next page. So we'll now set up the passengers and fuel. And speaking of passengers, we'll do that afterwards. So open the ToLiss screen. Make sure the passenger door is open. We'll go to loading. So we'll carry 109. We'll go 206 passengers. We'll use the full weight of the A321. It's the full performance of it. So again, nice heavy aircraft. That should be fine. So apply the settings. Fuel on board is 7779 kilos. So we're going to use 78. That will do. So centre of gravity is 28%, with a ZFW of 72.6. Block fuel is 7.9, and that is perfect. Next up will be the flight plan. So, departing out of Gatwick. It's not a terribly long one today. Our next waypoint is Lambourne. from Lambourne, we then fly via Lima 10 to Bravo Papa Yankee, sorry, Bravo Papa Kilo. Then it's Uniform November 601. It's basically the standard departure out of Stansted that we always take. Via 601 to Ribelt. And then from Ribelt, we fly direct until we just get our approach in. So if we then cleared the discontinuity there, and there's no discontinuity there, insert U, flight plan is set. There's no active controller right now, so we shall also book now departure out of Gatwick, which will be runway 26 as far as I'm aware. Although we will get the metadata. Okay, so position start, sorry, 5-1, there's easyJet. Scattered at 600, broken at 1000, 1013. Otherwise it's looking like it's we're in the calm, so we'll go for standard 26 left departure via the Lambourne to X-ray departure, no transition, and insert U. Looking good. So RS will be up in 5 minutes, that's all looking good. Let's get all the tracking stuff, shall we? So first of all, start projects flight, and second of all, we shall start packs. So start of flights, did I say was it 205 passengers we got on board today? 206. So next, departure, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. Time of takeoff is approximately 22 minutes even. Flight time is 1 hour 35. Cruising altitude is 34,000 with a flight number of U2 8 something something. 82. Where did I put it? There's a flight number somewhere. I've already noted down. U2 883. Next aircraft is an A321 carrying 206. No Wi-Fi, no music, no safety. Starts. So our passengers should now start boarding the aircraft nice and easily. Does this have the updated MCDU? As far as I'm aware, yes. I mean, as we checked out on yesterday's stream, we can now use fixed infos and all that. So, for example, if I was to put in Echo Golf per Foxtrot, our destination, so radial of 320 at 25, A-beam set. Okay, once that aligns, I'll be able to show in 3 minutes, but otherwise, this all works as it should now. And ultimately, it, doesn't really have any bugs, missing pages or anything anymore. It's a decent setup, this. Right, so passengers are boarding, we've done all the fuel, so make sure that the emergency lights are armed as well. Seatbelts active and no smoking on auto. Nav light logo 2. Start powers active, that's all looking fine. Make sure we're on Unicom 128. Yes, we are. Yes, it has got a secondary flight plan. That all functions as well. In fact, I set it up as well since we're on the ground and have nothing to do, so I'll set up an alternative. Technically, we should already be setting up an alternative, but no one ever does. So it'll be from Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot to Nottingham, aka East Midlands. So we'll plug that in. Costing next will be 23. Cruising altitude on the downward leg will be 250. Secondary flight plan. So out of here we go on Norbo. From Norbo it is a Tango 256 to DCS World. Then it's Lamborn 612. No, not Lamborn, sorry, just Lima 612. Lamborn's LAM, Lima Alpha Mike. Cowder. Sits there. Then it's directs to Pol. We need to return to insert that, won't we? So Norbo to Pol. Oh, did I not put it in? Okay. Norbo to DCS. Then to Pol. Then to Cowder. That one. And then hang on, no, clear Pol, I'm putting it in the wrong place. DCS Cowder, then Pol, then LBA. POL and LBA. Clear the discontinuity. So that would then be our secondary flight plan set up for you. So if needed, we can activate it and then take it over from our standard. What have I done there? Which I haven't messed up my own normal flight plan, which I don't think I have. I'll go check that in a moment. Ooh, okay. Maybe I have accidentally messed something up. Okay, well, we'll go back to normal flight plan. There, that should be alright. But yes, there is a secondary flight plan, and it does work as it should do. In that case, I probably did something wrong. Was that Leeds I put in? Man, it's 6 in the morning. Anyways, right, so that's going. Passengers are boarding. Let's go say hi to them. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard this easyJet flight 883 from London Gatwick to Aberdeen. We'll be pushing and starting in a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we ask you to sit back, relax, enjoy your flight. If you have any questions, feel free to speak to any of our cabin crew today. Thank you.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight.
The actual flight attendant beat me there.
Larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items
Okay, that'll send out automatically once she's finished.
If you have trouble finding a location for any of your
Let's
carry-on
continue our
items,
setup,
please
shall
use
we?
the
So
flight
we're on
attendant
uniform
call
already,
button
which
over
is
your
fine.
seat.
Welcome,
Somebody will
Nick.
assist you.
Long time no
If
see,
the
man. How you
overhead bin
doing?
is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
Fine.
Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear.
Since
and other
Gatwick has
passengers can make their
more
way
than long
to
enough
their seats.
runway, there's no
If
need
you're
to
in an
turn off the
emergency
packs for this
exit
one
row,
for short
please
runway like
leave
Luton
exit
last
seating
night.
responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you.
That
If
should
you're not able
be
to comply with
fine.
these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I head to performance. This EasyJet flight. Now take off, shall we? So
from London Gatwick to Aberdeen.
No, ToLiss.
We'll be pushing and starting
Open.
in a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we ask you to sit back,
first.
relax,
Yeah,
enjoy
sorry, I
your
need to set this
flight.
up again. So
Any questions,
departing
feel free to speak to any of our cabin crew today.
left
Thank you.
via the Lamborn 2X right. No transition. Flight plan. Insert. So now the runway setup again, we'll be able to plug in our performance. So, flaps 2, active flight plan. If I go for our VR of 160, V1 160, VR 160, and then it's 163 rotates. So yeah, plenty of runway here at Gatwick that we can use to take off from. 2/-2, and flexi temp is 62. Alright, that is that sorted. Secure on flight plan, that can stay on performance. As far as I'm concerned, we are essentially now ready for push and start. Just wait for the final few passengers to board, and we'll make our way down to the runway. 50 minutes until we're in the air, essentially. There's another easyJet. 8 for Lima Papa. And so yes, those of you tuning in now, this is the ToLiss A321. Read Candidate 1. Releases on Friday the 28th, and oh, if I made that wrong. 2/0.2. That makes probably a bit more sense. That's 2/up. 2. There you go. Sicknick quality of texture in your maps is abysmal. Oh, I missed something in the chat. So yeah, as I said at the start, we should see the Toto the Mac textures arrive, at least in the next version. So this isn't the Toto the Mac texture version. That will come in release candidate 2, if/when I receive that in the week. So this one, as I say, features. Well, first of all, it's the 321. So for example, I can now go to the cabin and have a concise. This is the extended cabin for that. Doors added in extra places. The third model stretched as well, and then the FMS receiving fee updates, which will also find its way onto the 319, as well as the now functional cockpit door. That was one or two things that was mentioned by people who wanted to see ToLiss update it with a working door. Right, let us get ready for push and start, shall we? So AP will start up. And we'll get, where is it? Ground, no, not ground handling. I want better pushback. We'll pre-plan it. And stick it there.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
So, as soon as the aircraft is ready, we shall then leave stand. And let's get this, yeah, 340 set, 1013, 1013. IRS is still aligned, so that's the important one. Alright, let's make sure the AP is turned on. Yes, yes it is. Right, so if we switch over to APU power, there we go. Go to perform initialization. Right, so there's winds. Yes, so, I think Matt's so either Matt Designs or Toto, I think it's Matt Designs who does the normal and bump mapping. We will see updated bump maps and all that coming in soon. Worst case scenario, then I'll just have to put in like a request for them to look into it. Either way, the ToLiss developers, as most of you guys know, are fairly active when it comes to sorting their stuff out, at least getting updates out. So if it's one of those things that people desperately wanted, I'm sure they would add. Alright, let's get this plane ready for push and start, shall we? So, AP's active, seatbelt's active, everything's looking good. Overhead looks fine, we're on Unicorn 128, so we'll get rid of the external power. Where is it? There'll be ground services, external power. And that looks good. So we'll set on the beacon lights to announce that we are ready for engine starts. And we'll also announce Echo Golf, Kilo Kilo ground. Mission starts. Not sure what stand number this is, so I will just go as that. Prepare to push back. Starts.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Use wind request, no problem. That'll bring up the winds. If I return, that should set. Right, that looks fine. Yeah, so again, when it comes to deliveries, it really depends on the delivery maker. I mean, to be fair, there's a reason they brought Toto the Mac into the project, and that was because his cockpit textures are fantastic, basically.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
It was almost the go-to freeware add-on for ToLiss's cockpit updates, so for them it was probably a good idea bringing him into the project. Alright, let's lock the cockpit door, make sure that we are secure. Aircraft is being connected to tug, and we shall leave gate very shortly. I was going to shout out the functioning fixed info, wasn't I? So if I was going for our destination, Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot, radial is, we'll say 320, that's 25 miles.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
And if I zoomed out, in plan mode, then it would show the line coming out of that. So fix info also now functions. Anyhow, we've got to start the engine now, so let's release parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's clear the edit there. Alright, idiots. AP bleeds on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your
Engine
attention
to
to the front of the
start.
aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the event that the seatbelt light is not on, we suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence. Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency and we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will guide you
Engine
towards the exit.
2 is live.
In the event
Engine
of a
1
decompression, an
starts.
oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten the
Yep,
straps
I
if
know.
necessary, and
We
breathe
will
normally.
cover that in a
Although the bag
second.
does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tight.
Taxi.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouth.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Crash is equipped with a whistle and a light if you need to.
There we go. We are now on engine power, so AP
Please make sure to
comes
exit the
off.
aircraft as soon as
Alright, make sure this is set, so 3-3, heading's fine. We'll use that off that. That's set. Right, so now that's sorted, we'll flaps down to 2 and we'll go through our takeoff checklist. So, auto brake max, signs on, cabin checked, spoilers armed, make sure that the ignition's off, and takeoff config tests. We'll turn on the TCAS at this point, and since there is nobody at Gatwick active right now, use voice in your comm just to announce easyJet 75 Whiskey Romeo is taxiing to runway 26 left at Gatwick. That should be enough of a warning for anyone in the area. That's the London Heathrow there. Taxi lights active. Let's make our way to the runway, shall we? Sure, we'll check the tropo in a moment, don't you worry. Right. Make our way to the runway, shall we? It's not a very long taxi today. Runway is right there to our left. I'm not sure what you're on about, Nick, I'm afraid there. I don't mute people. Or at least I very rarely do. Alright, so, all looks good. Passengers should be ready to go as well. That's no problem. We can check the cabin in a second. Well, she technically already did from the cockpit. About the fossil as well, actually, because the 321 and the 320 series aircraft do have strong enough engines in the CFM56A to actually do entire taxis on idle thrust. It's a capable aircraft, this, certainly by any means. Long-term Drawyah viewers will know that I am more of a Boeing kind of guy, but never had a problem with these Airbus aircraft, at least flying them. Alright, welcome to runway 26 left. We shall hold position here. Let's Toast 319 put you to the dark side. Maybe it has done for me as well. Maybe it has done for me. Alright, strobes on. Set the hand lights on, turn off lights on. Let's give the cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff. That's fine.
Cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff.
easyJet 71 Risky Romeo is departing runway 16 left at Gatwick. That was 26, isn't it? Correction, 26 left at Gatwick. Right, let's go, shall we? Fair play, Jimmy. Let's look at that performance page. And that will do. Engine up 50%. Both are stable. Let's go. Could be a little more central, but not terrible. V1 rotates. 160, a little bit hefty there. That's fine though. Positive rate gear up. Throttle back to climb. Let's move on to the flight plan. No worries, Nick. Take care. Good night. And there we have it. Nice and low over the south of England. So, here's initialization. So 34,000, which is our current cruising. Yes, unfortunately does not look like you can update the TroPilot. But I will leave a note down for the ToLiss guys and see if it's something that they can incorporate before release. It's worth a shout. Pass through 5,000, well then sets the altimeter to standard. Phew. out some clouds passing through at the moment. There we go. So we shall clear that, no problem. Sand altimeter sets. That's all pretty good. We'll clear that. Speed brakes down. That's auto, that's fine. So we should enjoy some of the sunrise actually now. At least that's where I am in London as well. Sun's just coming up now. Right, now passing through 10,000 feet, and the lights
Ladies and gentlemen,
go
we have now
up.
passed 2,000 feet. You may turn on larger portable
So at this point in
electronic
time now,
devices. This is also a
I'm
reminder
essentially free
that
to
seatbelt
sit back,
fastened
relax,
throughout
enjoy the
the
flight.
flight, but do not
At least
form a
now
line
as
to
far
the
as
left.
Aberdeen, where I need to start taking the aircraft in for a descent. What is our estimated time of arrival currently? 8:30. Right now it's 7:40. It's about 50 minutes of flying in this case. Oh yeah, I love PAX. It's a fab little add-on. When I press the right buttons. Yeah, I like it. It gives you a fairly comprehensive passenger simulation. I pressed on that. You can then speak to the passengers. And then it'll play your voice back in a generic pilot voice filter. But the big problem with that
You can then speak to the passengers.
is then they'll actually react to what you say. So if you said something bad and you set it up as, for example, a diversion to wherever, or you need to set up a delay because of a go around and it's 20 minutes, and you can set that all up, and essentially passengers react to how you fly. And of course it gives you a record of all your previous flights as well. So for example, FR8737 from what's my Charlie, that is going to be is that Alicante? I believe so. So you can then view your previous flight records, view them online, share them. It's a decent setup. I'd say the number one add-on that I've ever used is FS Passengers, but the downfall to that is that it's only compatible with FSX and P3 up to version 3. I never saw a P3D V4 port or X-Plane, which is a shame. It is a fantastic add-on, so that's one of my favourites. FS Passengers was always the number one add-on for me. I remember back using that in my FS 2004 days, once upon a time. have a look ahead at what's the weather like is in Aberdeen right now. Scattered clouds at 1,400, broken 21, broken 27, 6 knot winds 240. Otherwise, below 1,400, it's clear skies, so it's clear visibility up to 10 miles. You can hear the voice unicom trying to say something, although that aircraft is just too far away for our range. Decent enough flight so far. Let's go to the map, have a look at our current position. So we've now passed London. So passing through a whirlwind. So yeah, making decent progress, although if you're flying, you usually are making decent progress at this speed. What's our current ground speed? It's 734 knots ground, 448 air. The nicely made cockpit. I like the cockpit, I must say, so the cabin even that's a decent amount of detail. Not too much that makes it overboard, not too little that it looks bad. Even the overhead blockers here above the emergency exits get cut out and all that. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Right, soon to pass through flight level 200, 20,000. Not terribly long now to reach our cruising. Yeah, as I was saying in the last stream last night, I'm fairly certain that BSS sounds will certainly find their way onto the 321 without much problem. See that's matched as well, since we're well into cruise now, and not in cruise but well into our climb and nice and stable, no weather issues or anything. No turbulence, very light winds. There's a headwind but not a terrible one. And technically, while there is still the storm over the UK, So it's not as bad as it was earlier. It's more of a constant wind now as opposed to heavy gusting. Although by the time we head to Scotland, I'm sure things will get a little bit more interesting. I think the 321 is your first must buy. Can't wait for the MD11 and the CL650. Yeah, I mean, do you own the ToLiss 319? Because if you do and you're a big fan of ToLiss, then absolutely it's a fab aircraft worth picking up. Personally, I've enjoyed it since first flying it on Friday. I streamed it yesterday, streaming it now. I'll do a couple more streams during the week as well. Yeah, certainly it's a fab aircraft. 19 lap short hops. Yeah, you got the short hopper, and now you got the long distance, long hauler basically. People always say that they want a decent long haul Airbus in a X-plane, and they've now got one in the unlikely form of 321. The unofficial, in the middle of the market, long haul jet. The spiritual successor to spiritual successor to 757, until Boeing can release a true successor, and then see if it's any good compared to this, basically. Yes, the 319 will see updates very shortly, so that includes the Totomac cockpit textures. It will include the updated FMS. It will include the functional cockpit door. Was it already unlocked? Yes, it was. Yeah, the functional cockpit door. It will feature it's mainly 3 bits, isn't it? The cockpit door, the FMS, and cockpit textures, as well as the other behind-the-scenes stuff that I've probably not even noticed yet. Welcome, Darren. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. How you doing, man? 2 aircraft to try while X-plane exists. Absolutely. I'm sure most people making... Not most... Actually, I don't know. A fair number of people will make the jump to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know I certainly will give it a go. And if it's as good as what I've seen and what I've played at XO19, then yeah, I've got high hopes for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But hey, with that still a few months away, if you are person who uses X-plane fairly regularly, then why hold back? Might as well get the aircraft, something to kill a few months. So 2020 does release. Once it does, who says he can't go back to X-plane and carry on flying it for a bit? I'm good. I'm good. After the stream today, I'm off to the volunteering railway. I'll continue some of my guard training, guard trips, which should be pretty good. very nearly at top of descent, are we? Oh yes, it's technically already past that, have we? So we should be at 2.9. Okay, no. Go to the 2.9 yeah, we should have descended. Oh, you see when the 2D thing was. Okay, we'll set up our approach at least, and then set that up properly. So, current winds, just to confirm, are we still landing on runway 23? Yep, we're still landing on runway 23, was 240. Runway 23 via, do we have Lanka to Alpha? Yes, we do. Danak even. To Alpha, no via. That's fine. Insert that. So we need to be at how high for the inserts? 2,900. There we go. So aircraft now continuous descent. Shouldn't take too long. Down those sections for 747. Yeah, enjoy it, man. See if an offset works, no problem. I do apologise. The 320 is not my main aircraft, since it takes me a moment or two just to remind myself where I'm looking. I want to go to... weather right now. Going to Aberdeen, it's clear clouds, clear skies for 1,400, although it's scattered 14 broken and broken 2127. 6 knots 240. Yeah, I don't see that anywhere. I'm sure it does, because I used it in the ToLiss A319. Let's double check that at some points. I'm sure I have. Glad enjoying it, Darren. Nice to know. Right, so our current ETA is now 08:36, which gives us a landing in 40 minutes. 40, okay. Should be able to gain a couple honest descents. Thank you for subscribing, Captain Beanie. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. In a couple of moments, we'll look into turn on the seatbelt sign. So we do actually hold at 248 for a little bit. That's interesting. So we are descending to 247. There's a reason I didn't see our top of descent, also because we technically haven't reached top descent yet. So we'll probably continue at 24 then for a little bit before we do descend further up. Right, so we've already passed 240, so 240. Presuming that was more of a step in our descents then, as opposed to full descents. This is why I check your FMS before you make any decisions. Alright, it's all looking calm right now in the aircrafts. Everything calm, not realistic at all. Maybe not for easyJets. Jet 2 would have drunk women banging the cockpit door by now. Yeah, and then we'll see what Ryanair has to offer. Either it's a fist fight in the cabin, drunken passengers singing and dancing in the back. Basically, it's an Irish ballad, Irish bar in the back of the Ryanair aircraft. But given comments by their CEO yesterday, we now don't talk about Ryanair, at least not for a little bit until things cool off of that. Love the airline. Maybe not agree with the CEO there. So right now we fly over near Duncanfield. to Manchester. We're right now taking out all the seats. So yeah, taking out the floor to fit more people. Stuff them all in basically. Technically, the flight times are not overinflated, but that's block time. Airlines always measure their flights in block time, which is the moment that the brakes are turned off at departure, at least from push and starts, until the brakes are reapplied at the gate at the other end. All airlines do it. There's a difference between block time and flight time. And under at least EU aviation regulations, an aircraft is only late if it's longer than 15 minutes after the block time. So if the block time is extended by 15 minutes, then an aircraft is late. If it's 14.5 minutes, the aircraft is still officially on time. Oh yes, and the classic Ryanair fast taxis, especially at their rural airports with super long taxiways, with up to 30 knots, and basically race down to the other end. Yep, no worries. Welcome, FC. How you doing? It's a nice little cabin that. You got the 2 extra doors with the overhead lockers cut out for them. Your front galley, which isn't too bad. Cockpit does have functional open door. So I can click on that, it's an open door. Go to the rear galley, which includes the 2 lights at the back for the space flex interior. And yeah, ultimately not a bad little aircraft this. Very nicely detailed. Anything else you want to have a look at, feel free to just drop it in chat. I'm good, Nursing Network. Oh, interesting channel name. Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat. Oh yeah, I mean, with Ryanair, I fly to Mallorca in April for a £21 return. That is dirt cheap. Really is. Good, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Same transatlantic, saying there's no CPDLC function. It's more of a case of how to implement it more than anything else. I'm trying to think, did Flight Sim Labs ever implement their system? I believe they worked with both IBO and VATSIM to implement something to their aircraft. I have a destination data already, I've got the direction set already, shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I believe FS Labs have actually got a system already implemented. So it's just a case of looking at how they've done it, and then possibly dragging it to the similar aircraft as well. There's some hoppies, A-cars. Okay, so there is a way. There is a way they can do it. It's worth bringing up. I'll mention it to the ToLiss devs. Alongside the other thing, the Tropo. Starting the snack service now. It's a bit late for that, is it? Yes, I know that the ToLiss guys are looking, or have implemented Citizen Stars into the current 350. I'm sure if they were going to do something like that, it'd be more finding something else to the 350 V2. Yes, as I say, A350 I plan to do next weekend. Otherwise I just need to do a clean reinstall of that, which shouldn't take too long. How are you doing, man? Are you going anywhere today? Are you scheduled for Bangkok or wherever else? Do you still have a job at this point, or have you been axed along with the other thin air long haul crew? In a couple of moments we'll then continue our descent. At this point we'll leave the 240 right now. Right, let's do this. So down to 2,900. And let's just bring the seatbelt sign back on. So we'll be landing about 20 minutes at this point. It's all looking rather calm right now. I'm sure once we do pass the cloud altitude, we'll have a little bit of turbulence to go through. But ultimately, it should be a nice and clear landing today. Although, compared to last night's landing, got a lot to beat with that. So yeah, it was like a 1.5 G, 144 feet per minute touchdown, which is very close to perfect at 150. Almost all the muscle there in my leg. Stretching. Right, well. There's the airport, 60 miles away. That's all in. Passing through 17,000. Let's get the just this ready. Still a quick refresh. Weather's the same. Passing through 16,000. 160. Soon passing through 12,000. In a moment, we'll get ourselves in.
We have begun our final descent in queue. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to select any crash one final
Yeah,
time.
they beat me to it.
Please
But
ensure
hey.
that tables are stowed and seats are
Cabin
available
crew,
on
10
landing.
minutes to landing, 10
Please also
minutes.
store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat cushion.
Cabin crew, 10 minutes landing, 10 minutes.
We'll soon pass through 10,000. Let us help the aircraft with that. Some spoilers. Let's reach 250 feet. We'll then be able to descend below 10,000, bring the landing lights straight into land. QNH 1004. Can you set that to as well? There we go. Yeah, after we reach this point towards Lanark, we'll then descend. Well, it's not too far away now. Landing will be in approximately 10 minutes. There we go. Landing lights active. From the QNH to 1004, and let's get everything soon set up for landing. So below 240 knots, then use the first stage of flaps. And while we're here to clear the warning from that, which that our approach phase is set. So QNH 1004. Temperature right now is 3 degrees. Wind is 240 at 6. Should have done this a bit earlier, but hey. Precision is 100. And we'll use the 4 flap landing for that. So we'll be landing at around 150 knots at this point. There you go, can see some of the highlands now just appearing in the distance. Wind farm to our left. Otherwise, welcome to Scotland. Myself actually travelled to Inverness in about 3 weeks. I've never actually been to Scotland before. It's the first time for me, so I'm certainly excited for that trip. I'll have to go see a friend up north. Alright, flaps 1.
Glasgow 806 uniform is inbound Glasgow for the ILS 23 approach.
Okay, that's Glasgow. Well, now it's Aberdeen then. Just confirm we are runway 23. Easy 71 Risky Romeo is inbound for the runway 23 approach at Aberdeen. Welcome, Jurassic King. Welcome back. How you doing? See Emma. Yeah, so after my flights yesterday to to Krakow, Katowice, today we go to Aberdeen, Glasgow, Inverness. Let's continue our descents. All's looking good. We're at decent speeds, decent altitude. No need to use any flaps just yet. We just continue to use flaps. Got a few minutes left to go until we are on the approach. Let's go to the radios page and make sure that we are looking at Does it go the frequency? I don't think so. Double check that in a moment. We want, let's say, Aberdeen. You tell me. Let's say everything's been pretty good now. Descent's decent, speed's decent. Nothing in particular to have to look at. Yeah, it's also worth mentioning as well that the 321 has got the split flap system as well. So the flaps do appear in two parts, opposed to just the one in the A319 and A320. Oh, yeah, but actually is Gauss. No, that is correct. That's fine then. Airport will be to our left. We'll appear on the localizer very shortly. Otherwise, let's activate the approach phase, shall we? No worries, man. Take as long as you need. Right, there's the city of Aberdeen, which is relatively central Scotland. And then you're on the foothills of the Highlands. When I go to Inverness in March, I'll be in the capital of the Highlands, Inverness. Hope to maybe get down to Loch Ness if that's possible. It's about a 20-minute drive away. A bit gusty at the moment, but otherwise nothing too hectic. And make a left-hand turn essentially on the hills there in front of us. And with that, we'll then be aligned with the runway. It's a beautiful area, this, I must say. Even in sim, this looks rather fantastic. I'm sure in the real world, it's a stunner to look at.
2,000.
Yeah, we're going to be nice and low over the grounds there. All of the aircraft will level off right about now. Right, 4 flaps 4. Alright, standing checklist, landing gear. We'll do landing gear in a moment. Signs on, cabin check. Spoilers armed. Once we clear these hills, we will then lower the gear. Gear down. Localizer set. easyJet Whiskey Romeo is on final at runway 23 Aberdeen. Cabin crew, please be seated for landing. Please be seated.
Cabin crew, please be seated for landing. Please be seated.
Right, let's do this. Make myself comfortable.
2,500.
Airport is in sight.
Glasgow traffic. Virtue 806 uniform is turning onto a 10-mile final, runway 23.
A little high, so we'll bring it down ourselves, basically. And then the auto throttle, pilot's in
2,500.
anyway. Minimum decision height is 100, so I have to talk with that for a little bit. A little bit of turbulence, but nothing too much. 30 knot winds ahead right now.
Two thousand.
There we go. Easy 71 Whiskey Romeo is landing runway 23 at Inverness. Aberdeen, correction. Runway 23 Aberdeen. I've got Inverness stuck in my head now. Right, let's get ourselves back onto
1,000.
the flight slope. Follow the flight director.
Easy 1 Whiskey Romeo, don't you mean Glasgow?
Approaching Aberdeen. This is Unicom, right?
Yeah, this is Unicom.
Oh, okay, so it's now more of a crosswind here. Bit of rain, 19 knots. Not a hard one to deal with, but
Glasgow traffic, is there anybody landing runway 23 as I've got someone showing up on my nav display?
okay, that explains that for him.
$500.
A bit of crabbing to do with this. Have fun. Alright, let's keep it in. Keep it in.
400.
A little bit low.
300.
Man, the weather really got south for us in this approach, did it?
200.
Committed, we are committed.
100.
Glide slope.
50. 40. 30. Retard. 10. 5.
There we go, 250 at 1.3 Gs. A little bit off sense line, but hey. Knots.
Gotcha, 806 uniform is 5-mile final, runway 23 at Glasgow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 8:39.
There we have it.
And
Welcome
it's
to
currently about 4 degrees. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a
Welcome
complete stop
to
and the
Aberdeen.
signal sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been
Easy
hidden
7
during
Whiskey
the flight.
Romeo, clear of
If
runway
this
at
is your final
Aberdeen.
destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
When landing, do you use no trim wheel to manage glide slope? Not particularly, given that the A320 series aircraft has a pretty decent auto trim. I'll let that do all the work. It's not terribly difficult. I mean, the landing there, the only reason I wasn't really struggle, but the only reason I had to bump it around a bit was because initially I was a little high on the glide slope there, so I brought it in myself, and then ultimately it was the turbulence in the end. Autopilot, you generally turn off at around 1,000 feet. That's when most pilots will deactivate. But at the end of the day, it is down generally to pilot discretion. Whenever you're comfortable with the flight. Do you tend to use trim wheel a lot, maybe off to manage it? Not particularly, no. As I say, the A320 auto trim does that all for me automatically, so I'm not complaining with that one. Auto trim on this aircraft is a very nice feature to have. It's one of the few things that I prefer on this aircraft over the 7.3 actually. Try to get better at manual control. Yeah, I mean it's practice at the end of the day. The more you try, the better you'll get at it. I mean, if you go back to some of my older streams, especially in the early days of the PMDG 737, gosh, my flying was absolutely horrific. The more you fly, the more you get better at it, and ultimately the easier things become. And if not easier, then just the better you are at it. I mean, I'm not exactly perfect, but I've certainly learned over the years. Alright, well, that comes on, and these come off. APU's active. Yep, we have just landed in Aberdeen. I'm afraid you have missed this. Right, strobes off, taxi lights, beacon off, sorry, and taxi off. Right. Let's ask to turn off the seatbelt sign, and let's say thank you to the passengers. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aberdeen. Local time right now is 8:43 with temperature at 3 degrees. Once again, we thank you for flying easyJet, and we hope to see you again with us in a future flight. Cabin crew to disarm doors and cross-check. That's fine. And also notice that the brakes are hot.
Local time right now is 8:43 with temperature at 3 degrees. Once again, we thank you for flying easyJet, and we hope to see you again with us in a future flight. Cabin crew to disarm doors and cross-check.
Gotcha 806 uniform as vacated runway 23 at Glasgow.
There we go, so passengers will be able to disembark very shortly. There is a jet bridge here, easyJet do use them. Otherwise, we'll now bring the aircraft onto ground power. And then we'll go through the shutdown, and then we'll go through the replays. What plugin is that? That is PAX. So PAX is a passenger simulation for X-Plane and P3D. So turn off seatbelt sign, passengers will start deboarding, and basically lets you look at your passengers, interact with them, talk to them, and ultimately, yeah, just sort out your flying. So you can see passengers now deboarded. Thank you for following, man. Much appreciated. Thank you, KJ, on Twitch. Some people still on board, and that will ultimately clear out. So since we have now landed, I will deactivate Projects Flight. Stop the tracking on that. That is good. Next, we'll end the flight on PAX. And let's have a look at our stats here. So, slightly ahead of schedule, decent landing overall, passengers satisfied. Yeah, Absolutely nothing wrong with that flight whatsoever. And so PAX and FS passengers done. Just PAX. PACX. PAX. Or PAC-X, I used to call it. Right, let's disconnect from Squawk Box. Let's have a look at our landing, shall we? Go for a little bit. So, see, it's a little bit of a stormy approach, but ultimately not too bad. We'll sit on this side for the landing, shall we? Oh gosh, Route Play's not taking the weather effects too kindly, has it? Gee, okay. Let's go in front of the wing, maybe. Yeah, that looks a bit better. So, approach is looking fairly stable. Don't forget, it was a slight gusty approach in. Rain's picking up. Otherwise, we now are low over the city. And then landing is in just a couple of moments. There we go, over the river. Yes, you did win the screenshot competition. No, you didn't. You came last with your 4.5 votes. Here we go. Nice and low. Over the runway thresholds. And down. Gosh, everyone's getting on him in Twitch right now. Let's have a look at the landing from an external view. As I say, it wasn't terrible by any means, just a bit gusty for me. A little bit of crabbing involved, though not much of it. I think I actually straightened out in the air before touchdown anyway. What's my FPS? I mean, right now from the external view, I'm getting a solid 40. If I hide the overlay, it's not the overlay, it is, where is it? That one. And the red bar. So in top left, just above my YouTube logo, you can see I'm getting about, even come up to 50 at this point. So yeah, it's not a bad aircraft by any means for its frames. I mean, my system was actually the highest spec, but what can I say? Oh yeah, as good as the 319. I'm not losing anything. I might be gaining a little bit. Hello, I get the A321, sorry. Matt Designs, he provided me a copy. Yeah, a little off centre line, but can't lie. It's a decent enough landing. How's it come so smooth? Yes, this is on a 60Hz monitor, which is fairly standard, I always thought. Running at about 50 FPS. I'm streaming it right now to 30, so you guys are basically seeing absolutely nothing with stutter. And yeah, I've got no massive issue with X-Plane at the moment. There was a time where X-Plane was horribly lagging, horribly slow, but well, worst of all, I've got a new graphics card that smooths things out. And also, I do recommend, where is it? Some lure, is it not? Pros. Yeah, if you get 3J FPS wizards, this is a very nice tool to mess around with your sim settings to get a decent frame rate out of it. But yeah, that, my friends, is the ToLiss A321. This time flying in easyJet colours from London Gatwick to Aberdeen. Thank you, Austrian, much appreciated. How'd you fix that? Lol. Fix what? I'm missing something. Anyways, what was I say? Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream today. As I say, I am absolutely loving the A321 right now. And so, I plan to do a stream again on Wednesday, showcasing more of the aircrafts. I'll do another stream on Thursday. I'll then do a stream on Friday, which is release day. And then possibly Saturday as well. We'll see how that one goes. But, yeah, I'll try and get a few streams out. As I say, it's a fab aircraft. I am loving flying it. So, yes, as I say, thank you very much for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care, and bye-bye.